What's going on, guys? It's Al King, aka Big Al, and this is episode 8 of Throne Breaks. Today on the episode, something I've never done before. I'm really excited to share with you guys, and also have another guest interview lined up. ChromeToMyDome, aka Cards and Stuff 43, aka Daniel Hochler, joined me today from New York City for an interview. Stick around. What's going on, guys? I'm joined today by Daniel Hochler, aka ChromeToMyDome, aka Cards and Stuff 43 on Instagram. Daniel, thanks for taking the time. How's it going?
Thanks, Al. Thanks for having me. It's going really well. How about yourself?
Good, dude. So, have you seen any of the episodes yet? Don't lie to me.
I only saw the first one when you told me about it.
Okay, good. You plugged me that one too, actually.
Yeah, I try. Look, I'm trying to support a good guy, so that's why.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sure.
So tell me a little bit about yourself. Kind of start with who you are, I guess, in real life, and then take me on your collecting journey.
Sure.
Where it started, why it started, all that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been doing financial planning for 10 years. I work and live in New York City. I just got married in November. I grew up on Long Island, a town over from the Blez brothers, where you and I had met on Instagram on Blez. And I've been collecting cards since I'm 9 or 10 years old. I'm going to be 35 soon. And it's just been a crazy wild ride with the card business, particularly, as everyone knows, in the last couple of years. One day, I have a younger brother. We found all of my dad's cards from the early 60s to early 70s and all these binders, and been hooked ever since.
Yeah, what a find, huh? What a find that was.
Yeah.
Was there any like real gems in that binder that you can remember that you guys came across?
Yeah, we still have most of them. One of my favorite cards that we still have is, when people bought cards 50 years ago, you'd put them in bicycle spokes and you throw them against the wall. At least that's what they tell me. Unfortunately, people did it a lot with, the Mickey Mantles and the Nolan Ryans and the Sandy Koufaxes. So I guess that's one of the reasons that the ones that are in good condition today are incredibly valuable. But, my dad was a big Yankee fan, big Mickey Mantle fan. And, we still have 60s. I have a couple of his Nolan Ryan, Jerry Kuzman rookies from 1968.
Wow.
And one of the stuff will never sell, but hopefully we won't need to sell, right? But interestingly enough, it was 99% baseball, and he had 2 or 3 pages of basketball cards from Topps from the early 70s. And one of them just happened to be the Julius Erving Squires rookie card, which we also still have.
Wow, that's really cool. What a card. What a card. So you keep saying we. Are you and your brother still kind of actively doing this? Is your brother not so involved still, or?
Yeah, so we're both, I call it a hobby first because it is a hobby. A lot of people get into this business or any business for different reasons, or one might say the wrong reasons, right? I look at it as a hobby first and foremost. But my brother and I are still into it. We've always been into it. We both are married now. He has a kid, but just enjoy it. And, I'm fortunate I get to share. My brother and I have a lot in common. And another good friend of mine that grew up with does do sports cards for a living. So he's lucky.
Yeah. No, it is a grind to try to do sports cards for a living, but people that do it. I know people that do it. I'm trying to do it myself. I work with the Raiders by day and trying to do the card thing by night. So it's a grind, but it's a lot of fun. And I'm with you, hobby first, for sure, because that's the whole reason I started. That's the whole reason I think we all started, right, as kids, was just collecting the hobby. And I still legitimately, if I get a Kobe card in the mail or I open a pack and Kobe's in there, I get that same, overwhelming, this is amazing. I don't know, a warming feeling. As weird as that sounds, I don't know how to explain it really.
No, the best thing is when I open my mailbox in our apartment building and there's bubble mailers in it, right?
Yes.
No better feeling than when the mailman has to give it to the front desk because it doesn't fit in the box, right?
Yes. It's an incredible feeling for sure. So I know when you and I were first meeting, you were going to get married, right? Now
Yes.
You are married. You and I have made constant jokes about how X product may ruin the wedding and ruin the marriage. Are we still happily married? I just had to check on that.
Yeah, so far so good.
Good, good. Okay, very good. And she's okay with this, with the hobby. She loves the hobby as much as you? Maybe
No,
not so
not
much.
at all. No, but I'm very lucky in a sense that, you know, it's I can behave myself in terms of like, you know, spending money on X and Y. I think, you know, if you're buying into a break or you're buying boxes, and it's a gamble, right? And you have to gamble responsibly, they tell me, right? Or every commercial tells me responsibly. But, you know, it's like if you go into a casino or you're opening boxes of cards, you should really go in and, you know, to expect to lose. And when I say expect to lose, meaning, you know, when you play roulette, I think there's 30 numbers or 36 numbers and the 2 double zeros often, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you expect us to land on your number every time or every other time, you're going to be very disappointed.
Yes.
Right. So,
yes.
You know, from you know, a breaking standpoint, I think it's great because you can buy the team you like, or you can buy the player you like, and it's more cost effective. But no guts, no glory at the same time. So like,
Sure.
As long as it's not affecting your, you know, what your monthly bills are, or, you know, your ability to save money and stuff like that in other places, like I think it's healthy and fun. And, you know, getting back to like getting excited with the Kobe card, right? So there's a sense of community behind it, right? That's how you and I ended up here today. You know, the basis of a lot of relationships is what people have in common, right?
Sure.
So they're called trading cards because they're, you know, you're supposed to be trading for them.
They're meant to be traded, yes, correct.
It might be money, it might be trading for other cards, but you know, there's a sense of community there, and it's a great way to meet people that have like interests, and it's exciting, right?
Yeah, 100%. You've been a vendor at a lot of shows, right? Moving from the past, you're probably going to vendor at future shows, everything. Kind of just tell me, you know, you said you've been doing this for about 20 years or so. Kind of tell me where shows were to where they are now, and where do you think they're going?
Okay. So the first shows I did as a teenager were at a VFW, a Veterans of Foreign War, you know, VFW Hall in Long Island, New York.
Wow.
And, you know, I had a couple showcases and it was quiet, right? And you'd see the same people pretty often. It was on Wednesday nights after school, I'd go and do the show, right? You'd see the same people over and over. This, you know, we're going back 20 years. So they just started making, you know, products that were, I don't want to say cooler, but expanding, right? So that's when early 2000s, when you had Ichiro and Pujols rookies and Darius Miles, I remember in basketball. And all of a sudden there was this excitement because you get a numbered rookie card or you get a card with a piece of a jersey in it. Like I remember the first game used card I pulled, it was this Pacific product, I think 2000. I got a Bobby Bonilla patch card, and I didn't care about Bobby Bonilla, but I couldn't believe there was a piece of his jersey in the card, right?
Bobby Bonilla, yeah.
It was a fun hobby, and you'd see the same people, and you'd buy, sell, and trade. But now it's like I don't want to compare it to the Super Bowl, but I went to my first national this past summer in Atlantic City, and it was like a Grateful Dead show, right? I couldn't believe how many people were there. And, you know, it's very exciting to me because it wasn't cool to collect cards for the most part 20 years ago. And now that's all I see. I mean, there's an algorithm, but that's all I see on the internet and Instagram. And I think there's a lot of good to it. More people interested. That means, you know, there's more value to be had with a lot of the cards you have. But the card shows are amazing. You know, one of the drawbacks, I think, is, and we may be getting to this later, but people are looking for a quick buck, right? And, you know, it's amazing. I go to these card shows and there's teenagers or even younger who have cards that are worth more than, like, you know, someone's house is worth.
It's wild. It's astonishing, really.
Yeah. And I'm trying to negotiate with a 14-year-old.
Yeah. And they're tough negotiators.
Yeah, they're great. I don't know if they're going to, you know, Harvard Business School in the summer instead of summer camp like I went to.
Right.
These are tough guys, and it's great. But, you know, the change from what I used to know what a card show was, now, like, there's a one I go to Philadelphia with my friend I think it's every quarter, and he does the card stuff for a living, but there's lines around the corner out the door before the show even opens, and that's exciting to me, because the more people who are interested, the more exciting it is, and it's great. It's a community, right?
Something you said during that was it used to not be cool to collect cards. Are we comfortably saying that it is cool to collect cards now?
Yeah, I think it's a status symbol, just like someone has a Louis Vuitton bag or a nice car, or you see some, I don't know, one of the Paul brothers has a Charizard around his neck, a $1 million Charizard, like in a boxing ring. I could never imagine or picture that. Forget 20 years ago, 5 years ago.
Correct. Right? Yeah, no, I agree. I think we can say it's cool, which makes me feel cool and makes you feel cool. So together,
I've never been cool before.
Yeah, correct. This is sweet. So you said you're a financial planner in the real life.
Uh-huh.
So for the people, you mentioned a quick buck. For the people that did kind of come into it to make quick money, the market is, for I guess lack of a better term, stabilizing, right?
Right.
Do you have any words of advice, or is there even still an opportunity for those guys to do it, or are they going to start kind of walking themselves out of the hobby again?
For people that already, kind of lost money on it, or you mean just in general?
Yeah.
Like,
so the people the ones I'm asking about are the people that bought high in 2020, thinking that in 2023 it was just going to keep going like this. And obviously we've seen 2022 and 2023 kind of go here, and we're kind of leveling out right at this point. But I don't think they're ever going to get what they paid for it in 2020. Do you have advice for those guys? Because there's a few of them that they're out there, like you said, at shows and stuff. That they're trying to make quick buck. I think they're getting disappointed. There's a lot of people saying they're disappointed in shows today, and it's just not the same as it was, and blah blah blah. So, I mean, is there still an opportunity for those types of guys to still find a way to make a quick buck, if you will?
I think it's a very valuable lesson, right? And some of these were 12-year-olds and some of these were 52-year-olds, right? So someone who's older should know better that the gravy train's going to run out on certain things. You can't. If it was so easy, everyone would be doing it, right? And it's easy to say it now, 2 years later or 2.5 years later, that you should have known better, because I couldn't believe it either. And when the card's getting popular again, I go into my binders and I find, Justin Verlander, not binders, but I had cards from 15 years ago, and there's Justin Verlander cards and, stuff from the mid 2000s that was stagnant and worth not very much. I think that pigs get slaughtered, right? So many of the viewers may have heard that before. Like, if you're able to make a profit on something, I don't care if it's sports cards or something else, like, and you're in this at least partially to make a profit, sell it, right?
Yeah.
Take the money. There's always something else to invest in, whether it's cards or something else. And I think buying what is important, right? So Warren Buffett or someone might have said that about stocks and stuff like that. But, I think, and I can't help myself comparing it to like the industry I'm in, right? But, a safer way, or a safe way, I think, in this business to make money is, buying cards of guys who are either retired or, they're no longer on the planet, right? Mm-hmm. So I do this as a hobby. It's exciting. Everyone likes to make money in some capacity, but like a Babe Ruth game used jersey card, right? Or a Babe Ruth bat card. A lot of those prices of those cards, I mean, they're the same as they were 20 years ago.
Yep.
Versus a lot of other ones which are worth a ton more, versus the 2020 Prism Zion PSA 10 that there's 100,000 of, or however many. Yeah. Right? I think I would compare like a Babe Ruth bat card or a jersey card to, some type of bond or something safe, right? So like you can buy one of those for $200 and somebody's going to buy it for $250 or $300.
Yeah.
And with the licensing and stuff like that, I see do your research, whether it's cards or something else, but do your homework, right? Look, there's so many things available to collectors now in terms of tracking prices and tracking the sport and tracking stats and stuff like that. When I went to card shows, everyone didn't have eBay in their pocket.
Right.
No, I didn't have a job. I was a kid, so I would research all these prospects. Like some guys and gals listening might remember, Stephen Drew, who was a prospect shortstop, I think, for the Diamondbacks, right? And the guys at the card shows, they didn't know who Stephen Drew was. They knew who Derek Jeter was playing shortstop.
Yeah, sure.
So I would buy Derek Jeter cards on eBay, and I'd go to the card shows, and I'd say, I want to trade this Jeter jersey card for this Stephen Drew autograph. And they thought they were ripping me off, right?
Yeah.
And they didn't know that I paid $30 for the Jeter and the Stephen Drew's worth $130, right? So I think putting in your time and doing your research will pay off, whether it's cards or something else. And, keep track of population reports with graded cards, but also current brand like Topps, right? So Topps Bowman is the best rookie baseball product every year. Bowman Chrome, Bowman, right? A lot of the, products are somewhat diluted now, so you have to be careful. Because I remember when Bowman came out, I remember Delman Young. For anyone listening, Delman Young was a Tampa Bay prospect in 2003. Ricky Weeks was a prospect for the Brewers, right? There was a base autograph, there was a refractor, there was an X-fractor, and there was a gold refractor. And there may have been red also, I don't remember. That's it.
Yep.
Right? Now, I'm colorblind, but I know that they are making so many different parallels of the same card, not only in the base product, right? But you have light, you have, H2, you have hangers, you have blasters. Like the card companies are printing money, and I think they're diluting the brand, but there's so much demand, right? But if there's 30 different variations of a Zach Neto, the prospect on the Angels, right? It's a risky investment. And you see when they come out, the refractor auto is $500 and now it's $150. And there's been no baseball as far as I know, right?
Yeah, nothing's been played. Yeah, no.
So if you want to invest in baseball, I love baseball. That's my favorite sport, baseball prospects. Yeah. Don't buy singles the first couple of weeks the product comes out. Just don't do it. I encourage people, if you're, I'm still buying Bowman Chrome rookies. This isn't stopping me. None of this, right? I love it.
Sure.
Buy the lower numbered stuff instead of buying a card number to 199 or 150. If a guy ever gets hot, the big buyers and the people that are going to pay, they want the rare stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So instead of buying a refractor auto number to 499 for 150, buy the gold auto for 400 if you can, or 500. Yep. Right? Because exponentially, you're going to do so much better. So I'm a big believer in low numbered stuff and waiting at least a couple weeks to buy singles from a new product.
Yeah, I have a buddy, actually. He's a coach at Hawaii. His son, they grew up in the same town as Brooks Lee, the prospect for the Twins, mm-hmm. right? And he reached out to me and said, hey, we grew up, it's my son's friend, yada, yada, yada. Can you come up on some Brooks Lee cards for me? Like, do you have any? And I told them, I started sending them some eBay links. I said, look, here's what they're going for right now, but this is like a week old product. I was like, I'll reach back out in like 2, 3, 4 weeks, maybe a month, and I'll win some for you. And then, whatever. And I mean, it's true. Brooks Lee's cards were, I think I won one last night for like $15. And I'm not going after the high end because he's a collector, right? The kid, the son's going to keep him. But I think one of the cards that he sold for $40 recently, I picked up for $15, right? So It's like there's quite the dive after the first initial rush, and that goes two ways. As a buyer, to wait. As a seller, throw it on the bay if you're looking to make the money, right? So
sure.
So it goes two ways for sure. New product, it's weird like that because we all know. I mean, most everyone knows that that's how it works, right? So. It's interesting that it still works that way. Human
beings are very interesting, right?
Yes.
It's people know gambling in a casino is a losing proposition, right? But they keep building more of them, and they're bigger and better, and that's coming out of myself included, everyone's pocket, because mm-hmm. people, it's exciting. People want the chase. People want the excitement. Like, that dream of hitting the big card. But yeah, I mean, when I open new stuff and it's not something I really want, or I'm just trying to get some money back or recover some money, that shit goes on eBay real quick.
Yes. Yeah.
You don't have to be a genius. Like you said, most people know this. Like, sell it while it's hot if you need the money back or you want the money back.
Correct. And that honestly, that fuels your, your love for the hobby. You have to have some sort of cash flow if you want to continue to stay in the hobby. And if you open up something that you don't care about, like you said, right? Like even the Bobby Bonilla, I don't know if you said you still have it, but you didn't really care about the Bobby Bonilla, right? So maybe if you're a little bit older, you would have been like, yeah, okay, here goes this Bobby Bonilla. I'm going to send it off to someone who really likes Bobby Bonilla. For example, I pulled a Jalen Williams auto for someone the other day from the Thunder, right? The rookie this year. And I know a big Thunder collector. The guy could have gotten like $70, $80 because that's what they're going for right now. But since he knows that my friend is a big Thunder guy, he just took $50 because the Thunder guy wanted it, and he was able to recoup some money to then buy into other breaks or whatever he wanted to do. So it's like you said, it's community, and that's probably the best part for me, at least, is just the whole community aspect of it all.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing I want to add quickly about for the guys and gals who may have gotten like hurt with the buying at the peak, essentially.
Yeah.
Right. I think it's important doing research and, keep track of events that are going on. Right. So I'm going to use this example. So I love Topps Dynasty Baseball. I have 40 or something auto patches from that product. Right. I think it's a one card in a box. And I think now if you can find them, it's $800 or $900 or whatever it is for one card. You could buy a Mike Trout auto patch number to 5 for the price of a box. So, really, why open it?
Yeah.
But I knew, I had a Fred McGriff, and I think I paid $50 for it because I liked the product. And I remember watching Fred McGriff as a kid and whatever. He got voted into the Hall of Fame, right? So people are reactionary. The same thing when people get hurt, DeMar Hamlin, right? And I think it's disgusting to a point. Like,
that was terrible. That one was terrible. Yes.
Yeah. But, there's positive events too. So Fred McGriff got into the Hall of Fame. So I know it's hard. It's hard to make money in really the right way or legally in any business, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I knew Fred McGriff just got inducted. People are going to want this card, right? So I threw it up on eBay, and someone bought it for $250.
Right.
And I know if I want the card back, I can buy it now, or in a month or two later, I could buy it back for 100 or 80 or 70 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Certain cards I'll never sell, and more emotional about than anything. But if you see an opportunity, like, just take the opportunity.
Yeah.
It seems like a no-brainer to me, but some people are greedy. I think that's a big problem. That's what happened is people learned a lesson, but people are greedy, and that's never going to change. It really isn't.
Correct.
You have to learn from your mistakes. Again, that's cliche and a platitude, but yeah.
Well, Rui, right? Just like your Rui cards, Rui got traded to the Lakers. I was live last night, and no one has ever once asked me, hey, do you have any Ruis? Ever. Last night, 5 people came in and said, you got any Ruis? I was like, why? What happened? Why do you want Rui? And he got traded to the Lakers, and people, like you said, are reactionary, and it's an interesting world that happens in, but it's an obvious one. It's common sense, like you said, for sure. Let's say you pay $275 for a card, X card, and that card is now going for $100. You can time up the market and let that player do something and then throw it on the bait, and you just have to take your losses at this point. I think if you're those people, right, that really bought a card that I don't see ever getting back to $275, I think they have to be at peace with that, because they won't get it back, or they're just going to continue to get frustrated and then rage quit, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, you have to cut your losses sometimes, and the next one you'll do better because you'll have more knowledge and more experience. And the next card, if you bought that card for $275, you sold it for $100. The next card you buy for $275, if you do a little more homework and you're more careful about it, you'll recoup that loss on the next one.
Yeah, right? Correct.
But don't go on tilt.
Yes, for sure. So this is my favorite part every time. I usually ask people that are on with me to show me their 2 or 3 favorite PC pieces. I've seen some of your stuff. It's incredible. So I'm curious to see or hear why these are your favorite PC pieces. So what you got?
Yeah, sure. So I mentioned it when we started, but the 1968 Topps Nolan Ryan, Jerry Kuzman rookie card is really an iconic card to me. I remember my brother and I finding my dad's collection. He had 4 of them just in a page, right? That has an emotional attachment to that for me. I knew who Nolan Ryan was even as a little kid, and he wasn't even playing when I was 9, 10 years old. So it makes me think of my dad. It's the first card that I owned that was worth something. And he was on the Mets. So even though I'm a Yankee fan, I'm from New York. There's a lot of reasons why I like that card. Another favorite card I have is 2001 Upper Deck SP game used dual jersey of Mickey Mantle and Joe DiMaggio. That was one of the first products where they guaranteed a jersey card in a pack. But that was a card at the time, and frankly still is, where if I wanted to buy it outright so in 2001 I was 13. I didn't have $500 or $800 or whatever you want to say the card's worth at the time. So I could never afford it. And then I was at a card show and I saw it, and fortunately I can afford it now. And I had to have it. Mickey Mantle makes me think of my dad. He was a big Mickey Mantle fan. Actually, I have a picture of him with Mickey Mantle hanging in my office.
Oh, that's cool.
But that's another card I love just because it's something I wanted as a kid that I couldn't afford, and now I have it. And the last one I'll share is, so I'm sure if people are familiar at some point with, Upper Deck came out with Sweet Spot. So that was 2001 also, I believe. So it had the baseball leather in the card. I think they were 1 in every 2 boxes, but that was the second time they did that. So the first time they did it was 2000 Fleer Showcase. So I was at the flea market in Long Island, and a $50, $60 box at the time was a lot of money for a 12-year-old.
Right? Yeah, for sure.
And I bought about 1 box of Fleer Showcase. And I'll never forget, it was kind of like torn on the side, so I thought it was like kind of opened already, but I bought it anyway. And we were at the drive-through at Wendy's with my mom driving the minivan with my friends. And I'm opening the box in the car, and there's a really thick card in the middle. And this isn't, 2023 where every box has 7 thick cards in it.
Sure,
like,
yes.
What the hell is that? And I open it up, and it was the Nomar Garciaparra Fleer Showcase Sweet Sigs autograph. They were 1 per case. And then I remember getting home, and I looked it up on eBay, and I find out it's a short print of 53. So at the time, it was worth $400 or $500, if you can believe it. And that was like $1 million to a 12-year-old. So I sold it on eBay.
Yeah.
Got the money. So here we are 23 years later. I'm missing 1 card. So collectors out there, I'm looking for the Roger Clemens Sweet Sigs 2000 Fleer Showcase autograph for the complete set. But I think it's a short print of 53 or 57, the Nomar, but I have 3 of them now because I just had to buy them. I think I paid $50 or so a piece. And there's A-Rod in that set, and Nolan Ryan and Tony Gwynn, and it's just.
So you need the Rocket.
Yeah, I need the Rocket. It's my favorite set, and that was the first big card I ever pulled, and I'll keep those forever.
Dude, what a story! You remember where you were in the Wendy's drive-thru, mom driving the minivan. That's cool. See, this is how you know you're a collector, because you have these stories that go with your PC pieces, so that's an emotional attachment, which. You didn't really mention any cards that are incredibly over the moon price skyrocket high, right? So that's really cool, man. I love the Wendy's story. That's an epic story.
I have people who are in the car that I'm still, including my brother, but friends with today, that I could attest to that story.
Wow, that's really cool. Well, listen, I appreciate your time. We went maybe a little bit longer than we thought. I think you and I could probably talk another hour if we wanted to.
Feels that way.
Yeah, but I know you got things to do. Thank you for your time again, and this was a lot of fun. And I get back to your real life schedule, your regularly scheduled plans.
Al, this was great. I appreciate you having me on. I really enjoyed it. I could talk to you forever. Great show. Please support the show. Al's a great guy.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate it. Hey guys, been a weird couple weeks in the hobby, right? I know Throne Breaks, we took a week off of episodes and we just picked back up this week. Again, this is episode 8. Episode 7 you can catch on demand with Ross on the Titan Media Collective channel. But weird couple weeks in the hobby, not only because we were off, It's not that big a deal. But because a couple weird Babe Ruth things happened, right? How odd that Babe Ruth had 2 mishaps in, I guess, like 1 week, you could say, where Babe Ruth had the quotations around his auto and signature. So that was like a secretarial signature. His nurse or his secretary was signing that instead of him. And that got placed into a product in a 1-of-1 cut. And then most recently, this one's insane to me. Babe Ruth card cut with a George Brett auto. Their autos don't even look remotely the same. It was a George Brett auto cut with a Babe Ruth card. I mean, how does that happen? That is wild to me. Very unfortunate. Just another mistake. It's weird. Like, you would think. Also, I highlighted too a couple in Spectra football. Again, you would think in these higher end products, these mistakes wouldn't happen. 2 patches in 1 week. In Spectra football, Ahmad Sauce Gardner, he's a Jet, Redskins patch. I would say Commanders, but it was literally a Redskins patch. Ridiculous. And then Bailey Zappi, Patriot player, Dolphins patch. Really weird how this is happening, and it's happening very frequently right now, which is alarming, to be honest. So that's been weird in the last couple weeks of the hobby. But today, let's slow it down, let's pull it back, let's stop talking about the negative. Next, I want to do what I've never done before, and it is a PSA reveal. It's kind of shocking that it's my first ever PSA reveal. I've always been just raw cards only. And like now the demand for slabs is higher than it's ever been, I would say. So I decided to, whatever, let's give it a shot, right? So I submitted through From Santos Island. He prepped them, he reviewed them, sent back some that he's like, dude, these aren't worth grading. Reviewed them, prepped them, sent them in for me, and we got them back last week. So here's a look at the video of my PSA reveal. I'm excited. What's going on, guys? This was supposed to be a blind reveal, but I have seen the grades. So we're gonna start with the lowest and go to the highest. 8s. Kyler Murray, unparalleled rookie focus impact. Love the look of the card. Wish it was a 9 or higher. It's tough with the surfaces like that. Got an 8. Jamar Chase, red hyper, rookie, got an 8. Oh, they're out of order, dang it. T-Law, 9, the rookies, Trevor Lawrence. Herbert, elite, series rookie, 9. Saquon Barkley, stained glass, he's had quite the year. Quite the resilient year, comeback player candidate. Zach Wilson, hollow, 9. Wonder what's gonna happen with Zach Wilson. Tylan Wallace, told you they're out of order. Gold, 2 of 10. That's a PSA 10. Kobe rookie. Hoops, 96. That's an 8. Mahomes jersey match to 49. A 9. Josh Allen, Jim Kelly, Josh Allen rookie, another 9. Kobe rookie, 9er, another 9 there. Herb Jones auto, 9. This is a great card here. PSA 9. Fast break hollow rookie Jason Tatum. This looks really sharp in a slab. Pink prism Justin Herbert, PSA 9. Josh Allen to 125, non-rookie, but to 125 a PSA 10. Nice optic. In Fuego Jamal Murray, that's a 10. Tatum Snow Globe to 49, somehow got a 10. That's pretty freaking cool. That is pretty freaking cool on the Snow Globe 10. Trey Young, luck of the lottery rookie, another 10, I dig it. How about another Tatum to 149, another 10 on the Tatum. Yep. Anthony Simons auto to 49. That's a 9. Focus. And last, but certainly not least, a press proof premium variation. Justin Jefferson. PSA 10. Pretty sweet. Overall, I'm happy with my PSA reveal. I went through from Santos Island. If you don't know him, you should. Great dude. He preps and reviews before you send off. I sent him 30 to send in, or 32 to send in. He sent me 11 back, and we sent these 21. I'm happy with it. He's a great dude. He made it really easy, really simple. You know, reach out if you have questions about it, if you want to use him or whatever. PSA sub guy, Santos Island. But that was it. Pretty happy with him. Yeah, you see, I'm pretty happy with the grades. Got a few 10s. A couple of those were my friend Greg's. A couple of them were for my boss's dad. The Kobe Bryant rookies. He's happy with his 9 and his 8. I'm overall pretty happy. Bummed about a couple of the 8s. I think the Kyler Murray rookie focus one to 75, that come back as an 8, that kind of hurt. I was like, oh, I thought it was a 9 at least, you know. But you heard me in the video saying, I think this is a 9, maybe a 10. I got shocked sometimes, but we were pretty spot on for the most part after what Santos sent to me, telling me what to expect and that stuff. So a couple of 8s hurt, but it's okay. Overall, very happy, very pleased with the entire experience with Santos Island. If you don't know him, he's at From Santos Island on Instagram. Hit him up, easy to work with. It was a pleasure the entire way. So again, thanks for that, Santos. Maybe we'll have you on an episode soon enough. We'll see. I'd love to do that. We can talk about the whole process and maybe help out each other in that way. All right, so once again, big thanks to Daniel for joining me today. I'm hoping that you guys were happy with my PSA reveal just like I was, and you enjoyed this entire episode. Episode 8 of Thrown Breaks. Let's not have any more mistake patches. Let's not have any more mistake signatures. And as always, don't forget how awesome you are. Until next time, peace.